What do you mean I have to click the button, the microphone button? All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Guten Morgen. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is a Monday. Good opportunity for us to get together as a community here at Forex.Today. Thank you for your patience. I had a little bit of a technical glitch in the matrix this morning. Nothing we can't handle. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk when you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client. And if you have not yet joined our family, then please visit TradersWay.com and open up a demo account and allow us the opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. These sessions are designed to make you a success. That is the raison d'etre. We want you to succeed because then we will succeed. It is a symbiotic relationship. We do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. Well, why should you open an account and put real money in it and trade live money at TradersWay? Why should you do that? Well, first of all, our execution spread is faster than most, or actually, sorry, execution speed is faster than most. Our spreads are competitive, and our world-class customer service is second to none. Those are good things. Also, you know what? I just proposed to TradersWay this morning about doing a multi-day day trading workshop, and we host it for those that have live trading accounts at TradersWay, sort of like a happy summer bonus. So imagine getting together for 3, 4, 5 days, and online, of course, and go through a whole day trading strategy. Just a thought. That's just because, but I'm thinking of you. You've been asking questions relating to those types of strategies. How about demo users? How about demo users pop up some money? That's on. That's the whole point, right? Ooh, important updates are pending. FU Windows. They don't even give you an option. I just got a pop up. Ah, what a day. Well, Hassan, start saving money. Start saving money. The world is your oyster. Okay. So anyways, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I want you to succeed. And those are some of the things on my mind. Am I on the right track? Does that sound good? What's the minimum? I don't know. I have no idea what the minimum is. So talk to customer service. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So John and FX Forecast. Hey, FX Forecast, can you change that to like a real name? I don't mind nickname. This is my office, you know. Okay. Cool. So anyways, yeah, thank you. So cool, right? So day trading, some of it's going to be basic, how to trade type stuff, but then in the specific, measurable, sort of daily process and routine. Okay, so like literally, if you have no idea about fundamentals and you just, or don't even want to learn fundamentals and you just want to be a pure technician, sweet. That's kind of what it'll look at. Oh, and did I tell you the price? How about free? Yeah. All right, cool. Just want to get that out there. Okay, so let's start, since it's a Monday, let's plan our week. OPEC meeting. OPEC meeting. OPEC meeting. Wow, sweet. So what are they going to do? Well, I know you were very focused on the Venezuelan elections over the weekend, but stay calm. The president won re-election. Yeah, wait, people are starving to death? Yeah, so anyways, I'm sure it was fair. So Venezuela is supposed to be pumping 3 million barrels of oil per day, as you probably know. And it's pumping just over 1 million, so it's way, 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 way down. And well, other interesting things going on. Conoco is forfeiting and taking stuff away from Venezuela, forfeiting and not forfeiting now. What's the opposite of that? Call it confiscating. They're confiscating things, yeah, which is great because it's an oil company acting like a government. It's kind of interesting. So, anyways, Conoco is confiscating stuff. There are ships, oil tankers, that are avoiding port because they're going to lose all their oil. Do you know much about Venezuelan oil? See, a lot of people think oil is oil is oil. Oil from Canada is nothing like oil in Saudi Arabia, right? In fact, Canada has lots of different types of oil. So if you've heard of the tar sands, and it's described in other ways, but up in Fort McMurray, uh, that oil is from most oil in Canada. But that oil, right, is actually similar to oil out of Venezuela. So when you think of motor oil, right, you pour it out and it's beautiful golden, or do you think oil is black? When you think of oil, what color is it? Is it gold or is it black? Yeah, you think black. uh, anyways, right, it needs to be refined to get to that process, right? And there's a difference in the chemical makeup of oil and the viscosity of oil. So you have things like sweet oil, you have sour oil, and I believe oil out of Saudi Arabia, for example, is sour, which means when it comes out of the ground, other gases come out of the ground too, and that stuff will kill you. So you're like, hey, look, oil, and you're dead. It poisons you, right? The gas is poisonous. In Canada, it comes out and it's sweet, which means I guess it's non-poisonous or whatnot. But when you get oil out of the ground in Venezuela, which is more oil than Saudi Arabia, by the way, okay? Oil in Saudi Arabia is thick, nasty, sticky, gooey, heavy, ugly oil. Yeah. So this oil is so nasty because they're actually pulling it out of the swamps that used to be in Venezuela. So it's just, think of it as, right? Uh, anyways, it's so nasty that you basically have to blend it with other junky oil from around the world and just to make it less junky. And then you take that blend and you send it to the United States because it's the only place in the world that can refine it into a usable product. Probably by design, don't you think? So anyways, the blending oil on ships that would pull up to port so that they can blend that okay oil with the horrible oil, right? Just to get it to the point where it could be processed. Well, those ships are actually turning around now because their oil is being confiscated. Isn't that interesting? So Venezuela is also in debt. Who are they in debt to? And sorry for the distraction. How did we get here? Oh, OPEC. Yeah, okay. That's how we got here. Think of it. The Venezuelans. Who do they owe? Who do they owe? When they stop paying the bills, who sends the thugs with the baseball bats to collect? It's Venezuela, guys. Okay, well, John's got one of them. China. Who else does business? Like, think of it, like Cuba. Who does business with Cuba? Thank you, Brady. Okay, the Russians and the Chinese. But Venezuela doesn't have any money. So what do they pay them back with? Oil! Now you're getting it. Now you're now you're getting it. So what happens if Venezuela can't export any oil? So they're down to like 1 million barrels a day. I think 65% of that is just used domestically to subsidize their people with cheap gas and cheap energy. So now they're basically not exporting anything because other oil companies that have joint ventures with the country are confiscating oil. Ships are not coming to port for blending. So now oil can't even be refined. So what's next? The Venezuelans are not going to be able to pay the Chinese and the Russians. Oh, that's going to be a problem, right? It's not the bills aren't getting paid because you cannot pay your bills domestically, right? But what happens when you stop paying the Russians? Have you ever owned Russian money? It's probably bad news. So anyways, I'm thinking blood's going to be in the street really fast. Might be time to buy that beachfront property in Venezuela. When the Russians and the Chinese show up to collect their money, I think things are going to get real bad real fast. See, like we've had U.S. sanctions and high inflation, and it's just been cruising along for years, getting worse and worse. But you know, things haven't gotten. I mean, things obviously get worse. I think they're about to get super worse. Yeah. Vladdy's coming for you. Run, Jose, run! Anyways, so that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. You know, and as an entrepreneur, there's opportunities in the threats. So, anyways, OPEC. Yeah, so OPEC meeting. They're going to talk about that. They're going to talk about Iran. Did you guys see the difference in the EIA and the IEA report? I'm sure you have because you do your homework over the weekend. So, well, I guess it's more OPEC than IEA, but the IEA says oil prices are too high and it's going to start destructing demand. And OPEC's analysis says no, 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 no. Oil prices are high, but demand is picking up, and we're drawing down supply. So for now, it's okay, but it will get too expensive. But it's not too expensive now. So we have two oil agencies, one basically that wants low oil prices, and it says oil prices are too high to the point where it's going to start killing demand, right? And remember, we were oversupplied, so kill demand would be bad. But then you have OPEC that wants higher prices. They're like, okay, we get it. Oil prices are high. Brent's at 80. But it's okay right now. And if we have to step in and provide our oil at $80 and $90 a barrel, then we can do that. It's not entirely certain that they could do it, but that's what they're saying. So that's what's going to happen at this week's oil OPEC meeting. That's a lot of surmising, but I hope you don't mind me throwing out guess, conjecture, and babbling nonsense. But that's what goes through my head. I think all that might actually happen. Okay. Pig, 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 pig. So, where are you going to start trading the pound today? Oh, and I should point this out. You see all this FOMC stuff? There's something important later in the week. Okay. Well, yeah, and John, to answer your question, well, what do you think? What will OPEC say? OPEC will say that the higher prices are there, that the higher prices are not killing demand, or they use the term demand destruction. And then lastly, OPEC is there to save the day. And somehow they're going to go from 100% capacity to produce more oil to fill the void from Venezuela and Iran. And did you guys see? I forget the number. Did the U.S. export 2 million barrels a day? That's crazy. That's twice what Iran produces. And you're like, well, why is that a big deal? Well, 5 years ago, the United States exported no oil. Big difference. So anyways, lots going on. So the inflation stuff's going to be important out of the pig. Maybe you want to trade that today. Okay. Great British pig. Great big pig. European GDP, more specifically German. That's going to be important, especially if you're trading the DAX as well. So that could move Europe, or I should say Euro, and then more pig CPI. Is it good CPI? Is it bad? Is it good inflation? Is it bad inflation? What's going on? There's an opportunity to learn something there. So again, there's going to be a lot of pound movement this week. In the United States, new home sales, okay. FOMC meeting minutes, yeah. Okay, but that's not why the FOMC speeches are coming out fast and furiously this week. There's something else going on. But that is your opportunity to download and print that. Okay. Now, just download it and print it, and maybe even read it. Read some of it and highlight it. And ask yourself, what does that make? Does it make sense? What doesn't it make sense? Is there something in the meeting minutes that have a big question mark? And then use this thing called the internet and do some basic searching and see if you can uncover a new topic that might pique your interest, or something that when you read in the future, or you read other central bank meeting minutes or such, other types of reports, maybe that topic comes up again, like, oh, there's that thing, and you start becoming an expert. So just for the sake of wanting to be, it's sort of like, I want to be a baseball player. Well, get a baseball glove, get a bat, let's go hit balls, right? Let's go to no. What? I want to be a baseball player, but I don't want to play catch. I don't like throwing balls. Come on. Just pretend you're a baseball player, right? Get into it. So download that, read it. Yeah, I learned by watching baseball games. It's cool. You ever watch golf and think like, I can do that? Oh, did that guy just hit left again? It's like three holes in a row. He's hitting left. Why doesn't he just hit it right? I mean, look at the size of fairway. It's over 32 yards wide, and he's only hitting 330 yards, but he keeps landing left. He's throwing it away. Yeah. All right, great. Kiwi trade balance. Okay, this is going to be interesting because we're trying to see if there's a change, right? We're trying to see if there's a dramatic change in demand, and all that kind of stuff. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so watch us, especially if you're going to plan on trying to get a carry trade going by the end of the year. We kind of want Aussie and Kiwi to perform. And look at this. Now we're on Thursday. Pig, 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 pig. So I think you should trade the pound today, or well, all week, I should say. But you start today before the news comes out, right? See what's going on in the Great British Pig, okay? And a monetary policy meeting. Cool. So pig, 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 euro. German GDP is okay too. So there and there. And then Friday, I guess I need to mention, I don't think anyone trades that. Does anyone trade the Asian? Sometimes? Anybody? Like if I did a special event or something? Yeah, like 10 years ago, I used to do a presentation called How to Trade the Asian Session. Is that in the training course somewhere, guys? It's not the fundamentals one. Has anyone seen that one? Is it in the training course? How to Trade the Asian Session? You think so? Yeah, like where you do like I break it down, time of day, market open, gaps, and yeah, I think I'd like to watch it again. I think I also do one on how to trade the New York session. So, anyways, I'll have to take a look at that. All right, so and then move all the way to Friday, and I don't see it on the calendar, but I think Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve and the Board of Governors, I think he's got a big speech on Friday, but I don't see it here. But if he's speaking, it's going to be important. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So pretty good week. Some pig, mostly pig, a little bit of euro. The dollar seems quiet this week, right? Dollar should be quiet, so it really comes down to, the pound could form very poorly, and the pound comes down, which makes the dollar look strong. And then the ECB's been talking the euro down for about what, 5 weeks now? And again, that makes the dollar look strong. But a European friend of mine asked me just, I think it was last week. He's like, when is the dollar going to get strong or stop being so strong? I'm like, it's not necessarily strong, but like, you want to invest into Brexit? Is that right? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, what about the Europeans? You want to stuff your money into Europe? It's like, no. Well, there you go. Would you like to collect 3% on a 10-year T note? Yeah, I guess that looks pretty good. Well, there you go. That's where we are, right? So it's not that the U.S. dollar is strong, is. It's just, I don't know. I think the world is still very disappointed in how the Europeans are running their economy. All right. Just zoom in, zoom, zoom, zoom. All I want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your butt. All right. Okay, how you want to play this? Is that how you got it marked up? It used to be down, now it's up. Okay. So the weekly swing should take us up to this target that I've already drawn. So I guess I gotta get my drawing tool. All right. Okay. We don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the thought process of a bull. Okay. And if you're a bear, it's supposed to fall like right now. It's supposed to stay below 131. That doesn't look great. It's not a great setup if you're a bear. You get like this, but that's not as pretty. Okay. It should have fallen already if it was going to do that, but that is if you are a bear, that is your plan B, so to speak. Short this 130.83. Okay, but it's less good. It looks more like that kind of move. That means either euro strength or yen weakness. So we'll have to see what the other pairs look like. Okay, what's supposed to happen here? La 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 la. What's supposed to happen here? La 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 la. What a beautiful trade that was, huh? Look at that. Yeah, take profit. That's what's supposed to happen. So if you're a bull, this is your conservative target for the month of May. We only have about a week left, right? There's just over a week left. There's a holiday, though, in there. I think that's this weekend, isn't it? Yeah. So that means we're gonna lose volatility quick. So there might be 10 days left on the calendar, but there might only be 5 days worth of trading. We'll mop some up at the end, but okay. Someone says the pain is worse than break-even trades. No, break-even trades are good. We don't know why you're breaking even, so we need to figure out if you're moving your stops too quickly or if your entries suck. See, maybe move your stop to break even too early because you're afraid, and you get whipsawed out on a little bit of volatility. You break even, and off you go, and then it leaves you behind. That's one possibility. The second one is your trade is horrible, right? Your trades are like dogs with fleas. And you know it, and you move your stop to break even quickly, and you get knocked out, and it's the best thing you ever did was get out of your stupid dog with fleas. We don't know. So I've seen lots of, when I mentor people, I see all kinds of things, right, where they say things like that, like, I break even all the time. I look at them like, oh my God, you are so lucky to be break even because your trading sucks. It's like funny, it's so bad, right? Wait for it to go to the monthly R2 and then buy. You know, like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, trading sucks, but you have good instincts. You're moving your stop to break even. Great job. But now we've identified the entry is the problem. So now I just have to fix the entry. So it's like, I'm not actually joking all the way. Now we've identified what to work on. When you bring me the problem, I don't know, you break even. Well, what does that tell me? It doesn't tell me anything, right? So one thing you could do to whoever, it's already, the chat's already scrolled, but how about this? Trade 2 smaller lots, okay? Okay, so instead of, I don't know what you normally trade. So let's just say on every time you trade, place 2 trades. So literally go click, and then 1 second later, click it again. Have 2 actual separate orders, right? Move stop number 1 the way you would normally. I don't know where that is. For you, it might be 12 pips, right? Maybe that's the problem. You break even. I don't know. So you trade that one the way you normally would. The other one, do like a 50-50 OCO. And you are not allowed to manage that at all. Okay? And after 6 months, find out which one made more money. Okay? Figure it out. Use scientific methodology. Okay? What happens if most of the time you lose money on that situation, guys? The one you don't manage. What if most of the time it doesn't make money? And then I got to move on. But what happens if most of the time you don't make money when you do like a 50-50 OCO? All right, type in a question mark if you don't know. Correct. Your trade was flawed from the beginning. Your trades are worth less than 50 pips, right? Or your entries sucked or whatever, but your trading is just not very good. So we need to work on that, right? But what if most of the time you make money on the 50-50 OCO, but you're not making money managing the trades on your own? You have mostly break evens. Well, just risk management, and then we can work on that, right? Or whatever it is, we have to just figure that out. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. So it's useful information, right? So anyways. So if you were a scalper, can you throw down a scalp here? Yeah. Looks like you could have had 2 or 3 trades on this by now, just scalping. Right? right? Wavy. Well, so when I scalp very often, I'm just doing something like, right, I'll do something like this. First of all, I have to declare, I do declare, right? I'm a scalper. And then I'll say, all right, I'm gonna pick up crumbs for a while. So I'm gonna do 10-10 OCOs, right? Okay. And I got working. So every time it comes up here, drop a right, drop a pop a lot, drop a stop, just 10, do it again, 10, do it again, 10. Okay. Now I'm sitting here waiting. I want to sell it high. So I'm watching all of this, watching, so I can do things like, well, I want to sell it up here. There's a neckline in here somewhere, and whatever. I can fit this, whatever I want, right? I could throw in an oscillator. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, do the day. But it's my oscillator, bro. What? Where's my oscillator? That'll do. That'll do, big. That'll do. I got it backwards. I just messed this up again. I think I did. Well, worst two colors ever, but anyways. So I'm salivating now. I'm like, I want to sell. I want to sell. Okay. And you just do it over and over and over again until you lose. And then you're like, oh. Okay. You have a shot here you can take. You have a shot up there you can take. Your call, bro. Okay. So what's a bear stinking, guys? A bear is stinking. That's like, there's the love. That's what they're stinking. La 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 do da do da la 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 oh do da do. Right? Next one would be up here. See, stop is up here, limits down there. La 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 do da do da. All right, one and done, and on to the next one. All right, we're hitting Aussie yen target on Monday. Predict the future. By the way, again, I apologize if you hear the construction crew. We're almost done. They've installed the thumb scanners on my wine cellar. It's really cool. Yeah. All right, predict the future, guys. I'm waiting. Yeah, so the locks and stuff, they're all old bronze. and then there's this little, it's clearly a thumb scanner, and you're like, what is that? And you put your thumb over the thumb scanner, and the oiled bronze face just lights up. It's got touch screen and everything, but you can't tell when you're looking at it because it's oiled bronze. And then you're like, what the F is that? It's pretty cool. All right, back to the prepare for counter trend, central pivot. Yeah, okay, I'm good. That's called a trade plan. So you're thinking maybe something like this. That's your plan? Let's see, look left. So sell it at 84 psych level, price action resistance, weekly M4 R2, monthly R1. That's your resistance, the psych level, the price action level, the monthly pivot, and the weekly target. That's it. That's all you're going to use for your resistance. Well, I guess that's good enough, right? Cool. So now what? Now you put together a trade plan. Yeah, well, see, a bull would look at that too and say, yeah, they're going to take it down, so I'm going to take my profit, which is self-fulfilling, and then they're going to buy it back down there and maybe even off of this pivot. Okay, so now you have a trade plan. Will it come together? Don't really know. Would you buy it here? Would you recommend to your grandmother she should put her life savings into this? You should buy it now, Grandma. It's at 83.80. Now, Grandma, all in. Sell Grandpa's war medals. Yeah, yeah. Sell all of Grandpa's war medals. You got to get in the market. Okay. So we know what might happen in the future, and we know what we don't want to do now. That's the basis of something, isn't it? Moving along. All right, so let's do piggy, 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 piggy. Can't you see? Sometimes words. All right, let's go to an hourly, maybe even a 4 hour. Okay, let's do 4 hour. So on Friday with the swing trading group, we had this either going up or we had this going down. This is actually something different, but anyways, let's do it this way. So our Friday, we were set to buy, and Monday came up and hit the sell, and we still don't know which one's right. Thank you, It's Forecast. A funny thing happened to me the other day. My wife throws the laundry on the bed. She says, "You have a lot of socks to put away." And I look up from my book. Do I have a plethora of socks? And she's like, "What? Do I have a plethora of socks?" And she didn't get it. She didn't get so I had to put up. I'm like, "That's three amigos. What are you talking about, honey? That's three amigos." Do I have a plethora of pinatas, Hefe? You got to know these things. Gee whiz. Yeah. One of the greatest movies ever made, The Three Amigos. Gee whiz. So can you see a buyer's going to buy it here, a seller's going to sell it here? I clearly marked it out like a week ago. Then I did on Friday. I'm like, well, if you want pound yen to go up, you kind of have to buy it now, here or here. That's what this whole thing is. But if you're a bear, wait for it on Monday and you can sell it up here. So someone did. Like, here we are, we're in the middle. Nothing's happened, nothing's changed. But we know buyers are buying and sellers are selling. What's going on in the middle? Wait, I keep breaking even and I don't know why. I sell it and I break even. I buy it, I break even. I sell it again and break even. Yeah. Right? And that's where I look. I'm like, you break even? With that trading, you break even? Oh, wow. Congratulations. Yeah. Has anyone like bought a trade, lost money very quickly, so you immediately sell, and then you lose money again? Yeah. And it's the very idea that you would buy something um, ad hocly and then say, oh my God, I lost money in like seconds. So now I'm going to sell it because clearly I was wrong. I mean, just the whole mindset of, I think I'll buy it. Oh crap, I lost, so I'll sell it. Like, something's going wrong, right? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, but that's where you need to wear the suit of shame. It's very, very important, right? I take this far. So, I've taught people in the past where if you do stuff like that, you're supposed to sleep in the bathtub or on your kitchen floor, and you're supposed to tell your spouse or your partner, like, hey, if you see me sleeping in the bathtub, you need to support this. It's because I've made some really silly mistakes in my trading, and I have to break the habit. So this isn't going to kill me. This is going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to help me prevent doing it again, because if I do it again, I have to spend another night in the bathtub. So I'd rather just not, right? Like, I need to build new habits. So I've had people sleep in bathtubs. And if you're willing to go that far, you will become a good trader. So I've had people do that. And it's important, I think. Also, I've talked about the suit of shame in the past, where if we were all working together in a big hedge fund, and you were a trader that made mistakes like that, you would have to. I'd have this jumpsuit, like a worker's overalls or a painter's overalls, one big thing that slips over your clothes. That would be the suit of shame, and we'd have it on the wall. And if you had bad trading like that, you're right, you would be forced to wear that for a week or for some sort of period, and you would walk around the office and everyone knows that you've been trading poorly. And the suit of shame, right? The suit of shame is more powerful than losing money. Psychologically, you can say, well, 95% of people lose money, so I'm no different. It's not my fault. It's too hard. Or no one actually makes money. Or the brokers are chasing my stops. Or it's all central banking policy. Wah, 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 wah. And you feed yourself this crap and you're okay with it. And you're like, well, most people lose. And you're okay with it. But if you had to wear a suit of shame, all of a sudden you would move mountains, right? Because being embarrassed in front of your peers is 1,000 million times worse than losing money, right? So I'll tell you how far I'm taking this. My daughter might get a C+ in math. It's not her strong suit. She's not a math person. We work hard, but a C is bullshit, pardon my French. So we look into it, and I'm like, well, actually, you have some incomplete work here. If you just finished this homework, you'd be a solid B, but certainly not a C. Like, if you work hard and get a B, I'm proud of you. If you don't even complete your work and you get a C, I'm gonna freak out, right? So anyways, she goes to school, and I'm like, make sure you talk to your teacher about this. And then she comes back the next day and like, how did the conversation go with the teacher? Is she gonna let you do the makeup work? She's like what? Yeah, well, what does that mean? Oh well, I forgot to ask her. Wait, you forgot? You forgot. So I'm a loving parent. I'm a non-violent person, but don't double cross me because I can get violent. So anyways, so then I'm like, all right, I'll tell you what. I am going to help you remember. This is good. This is going down today, right? So it's the same thing like for you, like bring it back. What are we talking about? Positive trading habits, right? If you do things like jump into a trade, first of all, you need to punish yourself. And then if you jump in a trade and jump in another trade and like, you don't have trade plans? Like, what is wrong with you if you don't have trade plans, right? You need to break that habit. So what are you going to do if you identify that you are suddenly making trades, pulling the trigger, and you didn't have a trade plan on Friday for what you're doing today? Like, what's wrong with you? You're not planning tomorrow's trades today? You know, like, what are you going to do if you identify that in your behavior? What are you going to do to change those horrible, nasty habits? You need to rewire your brain. So I would, if I was your mentor, I would have you sleep in the bathtub. You can have a pillow, you can have a blanket and stuff, but you're going to sleep horrible, and you'll never, ever trade poorly again. You might do it one other time. 6 months will go by, and then you'll do some super trades, and you're like, you know what? I got to sleep in the bathtub. So you sleep in the bathtub a second time, and it'll be the last time you trade poorly ever again. Okay? So anyways, I am going to help my daughter remember to speak to her teacher about her unfinished work. If she comes home today and we don't have a plan from the teacher on how she can move from a C+ to at least a B-, right? If she doesn't address it, she's sleeping on the floor. I am taking her mattress off of her bed. She can have pillows and blankets. Hey, half the world sleeps on the floor. She has a Tempur-Pedic. Little princess can't remember. Little princess sleeps on the floor. What are you going to do to remind yourself to trade the way that you want to trade? Right? What are you going to do for yourself? Mommy and daddy's not going to come out and make you sleep in the bathtub because you're trading pathetically. So what are you going to do if you identify, you're like, wow, This was pathetic. What I did today was pathetic. What are you going to do to rewire your brain? At what extent and lengths are you willing to go to succeed? Remember, 95% of people will not do that. Did you know that? Oh yeah, hell yeah, I did. But it comes down to like, do you want to be normal or do you want to be extraordinary? There's studies have been done. So like, less than 5% of people get into Harvard. 95% of people do not get accepted. And do you think dummies apply to go to Harvard? They're like, I'm a dummy, I'm going to go to Harvard. No. Okay. But studies have been done that if you let anybody into Harvard, only 5% would pass, would graduate. It doesn't make a difference. So all you have to do is stand up and say, I'm extraordinary. And I'm going to act extraordinary, and I'm going to do extraordinary things. I will master how to trade using technical analysis, and I'm willing to do anything to succeed, right? As long as it's logical and ethical and moral and all that kind of stuff. So, are you willing to do that much? I'm only asking you to be extraordinary. I'm only asking my children to try to be extraordinary. There's a football coach, I forget which one, with like all-time college football record. I forget which one. I have Wooden in my head, but that's a basketball. But anyways, this coach said they strive for perfection. Okay, they strive for perfection, but at the end of the day, they'll settle for excellence because you can't be perfect, but you can certainly try. And then you let the chips land where they may, and you can beat 95% of people because 95% of people quit. 95% of people are not willing to sleep in the bathtub if they trade poorly. So they're just, well, I'll try again tomorrow. And they're like, well, I lost my $5,000. Man, 95% of people fail. Everybody knows that. It must have been my broker hunting my stops. No, it was something else. Whatever, I'll go do something else. Okay? But I bet you if someone stood next to you and said, I'm going to watch you trade, and if you do it again, I'm cutting a thumb off. You're like, what? Yeah. You make that mistake again, I'm cutting one of your thumbs off. And now let's say you believe that threat to be credible, because that's required in game theory. Okay. A real, truly credible threat. Guess what? Your behavior changes. Right? So, what's your credible threat? Are you willing to sleep in a bathtub? No, I want to be a millionaire, Wayne, but that's very uncomfortable. I'm not willing to do that. All right, cool. Good luck with you. Okay? So I hope you want to be extraordinary. So look, here's how extraordinary it is. Okay? You buy low at support, you sell high at resistance. Everything else is mediocrity. And lots of people are losing money in here. The person that sold high, they're going to break even. Well, if their stop's up here, then they should be fine and all that kind of stuff. But whatever. But I'm talking about chasing price, not having a trade plan written down, all that kind of stuff. And there's a button that says are already registered. But I think we're going to try a different system anyways soon. All right. CAD yen. Let's start with a different template. So we're at the DR1, Nomad's Land on weekly, Nomad's Land on monthly. Nothing extraordinary at the moment. It looks more likely to rise. But the problem with that is it's not in a downtrend, right? So like buying down here on Friday makes sense to me. So in the Friday swing trading group, we had this as a buy if you're a bull, and if you were a bear, in here would have been a sell. And then I'll use a slightly different color since we got the weekly in there. This would also be a sell if you were a bear. So I think more bears would sell in here. And why would a bull buy? Can you even think of a reason? Okay. Maybe buying the 21. Okay. But then it begs the next question: would you buy it as a bull? Like, why did you skip the trade on Friday and wait for it to rally from 75 to 50, right? So it's up 80 pips. Now you want to buy it, like, right? Like, you didn't want to buy it here, but you want to buy it there, right? So I would reverse it and say, well, this kind of looks like there'll, if not now, soon, be more bears. We know if it goes to 87, which is another 50 pips, that's another opportunity to sell, but that's not as good. Okay? So if I was a bear, I would want to sell it somewhere around where we are now. The next one's 100 pips above, and I would sell that. Okay? But this high is not higher than these highs, right? Right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm not in love with buying it. Selling looks, yeah. And it's mostly because you just wouldn't want to sell this. Or, I mean, sorry. To me, it's more of bearish because you don't really want to buy it. But it's an uptrend, so it's more likely to go up or down. You see how it's just like maybe we can wait on this one, right? I don't know. It's just your call. La 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 la. La 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 la. Kiwi. Beautiful. Beautiful. La bad beautiful. Kind of looking at the back history of it. Okay. Can you see the moving averages? How they may have helped you, right? sell, sell, sell. This predicts potential for a bottom. Sell, 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 right? And then look at this, through the pivot, and then all of a sudden we're using the pivots to climb. Not to, am I saying pivots? Gee whiz, I'm thinking one thing, saying another. I apologize for that. Let us do this. Let's try it again. Let's get rid of the pivots. Oops. If I was saying pivots, I apologize. What I meant was moving averages. Okay. Okay. Watch the moving averages. Okay. This is the first red flag. Second red flag. Okay. And now we're using the moving averages the other way. You see that? That's the first heads up. That's the second. So that's straight out of my book, right? This is technically where the market becomes bearish. So that's a sell, that's a sell, that's a sell. But at that point, though, you're supposed to be using 5A crosses, right? So 5A cross, that's a sell, 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 right? That's straight up out of the book. We're getting closer to kind of a neutral zone, but it's very interesting to see how it did reverse and the clues it did give. The big clue is putting the 55 in control. So this is the first one, okay? But this is the second one, and then a breach out above 55, right? They're called step ups, and it's assuming that it goes back to the 200 EMA. 200 EMA is a target. This is a mean reversion, is the way to describe it. And so now I don't really know if it's going up or down, so that's where you start folding in things like pivots. So you can add like a monthly. Okay. Monthly is not even that helpful. Okay. So it really comes down to what do you want to do now? Wait. You have to decide, are you now a bull? You have to make a decision on that. I would write it down. I'd write a contract with myself. And the second thing is, what scenario do you buy it? Okay. Are you a bear? You're like, look at this retracement. So therefore, this is your first shot, right? Right? A bear is going to start attacking it, right? So when do you attack? Okay. We're approaching R1, which is also 77. So is that your plan now as a bear? Okay. You're going to have one attack position here and a second one at 77.50. Is that your plan? What would you do if you're a bear? Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Take time with the one at hand, 'cause he likes you. Well, all right, fine. Not a bear, so where do you buy? Well, this is an R. It is a psych level. You believe bears are likely to sell it, okay? And now you're trying to catch the 4-hour 21. Where is the 4-hour 21 going to be 16 hours from now? So your trick now is at some point, if it retraces, you need to buy a dip on the future 4-hour 21. Brooks says weekly M3. Now that might be a coincidence, but it's not really why it's working. Okay, but you've already had that too. So if that was your plan, you've already missed it. Okay, so if it dropped from 77 to 76.50, take time with the one at hand, 'cause he likes to heal. I'm half the man I used to be, and I'm feeling so low. So take time with the woman, 'cause he likes to steal and like to be. I'm half the man I used to be, and I'm feeling so low. What do you think about that trade plan? You're a bull. Okay, you seem about right. Yeah, well, even a bear needs that though, right? So I don't know. A bear's going to still want to take it down as these guys get out, right? And then a bull's going to buy it, and then where is their stop going to be? Down here. So now if you can turn this around and you sell up here and you start hitting their stops, it's going to cascade you down into next month. Okay. Damn, I still haven't made money on this. Slow money, man. Slow money. Man, when I was your age, I could make 10 pips in like 3 seconds. Now it's 3 hours. All right. All right. Oh, I want to look at this, and then I want to change it. I'm half the man I used to be, and I'm feeling so low. Oh, 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 oh. All right. Okay. What if this 3A2 is as high as it goes? FX, that's generally not, no. Turn around. Is that the one you're going for? So what if that's the top of this rally, and over the next 2, 3, 4 days it kind of rolls over south again? Huh? But it also takes us then, that 77 becomes the M3, but that's an inside month. So that's pretty lame. Nobody wants that. So is there a significant, I guess if it heads up even further, that becomes range. See, because of the inside range, it just seems dull. I hope not. Oh, is it 9 o'clock already? Holy smokes. I guess I started a little late. I apologize for that. Even my pathetic little scalp hasn't gotten profit yet. I'm up like 5 pips. Come on, gee whiz. You don't have to bribe me. I'll do it immediately, Wesley. Oh, really? Tell me about your cigar. See, once you let the cat out of the bag. So, in one of the studies that we did in Harvard in regards to recruiting and making offers, it was a management class, right? One of them is very interesting, and you know it's true, where you offer someone a job, and let's say you pay them 150,000, and they were only expecting like about 125. They're super happy, right? You're like, this company's great. And then you find someone else in the company doing the exact same job. Oh, I know Cuba Cuba. Yeah, it's acid, isn't it? Yeah, nice. So you find out someone with the exact same job in the company is making 200. Now your people get all pissy. Like, dude, you were super happy. You figured you're gonna get 125. We offered you 150. You were super happy. Now you're all pissed off. Yeah, well, he gets 200. No, but it's true. It matters. All these things matter. No, don't send me 50 bucks. Don't. Uh, anyways, I appreciate that though. Yeah. It's still moving. Pissy little scalp still moving. So, anyways, my comment was like, yeah, I'll do it for free. Oh, wait, there's a cigar? Well, yeah, how come I can't have the cigar? Right? You're like, hey, you were going to do this for free. I was going to offer you a gift. Yeah, well, you took the gift away, and now I don't know if I want to do it for free anymore. So anyways, I guess this is going to pay for my cigar, right? So anyways, why don't we go? Let's group tomorrow. Are you trading the pig? It's going to be a big, great big pig week. GBP, Great British Pound. It's going to be a big pig week. There's some Fed speeches today, but the big speech is going to be Friday, which isn't on the Forex.Today calendar. I apologize, but it's just not on the calendar. People don't know, but I know, and I shared it with you. Now you know. And if you were a calendar people, then you would put it on your calendar. You know what? FX forecast? I really don't know. Yeah. So let's take a poll. How many people think I'm going to hit my target? Is it going to work? Should I move my stop break even? That would be, see, my stop's way up here. So, is there, oh, cool. So, oh, for show. Nothing's for show. So anyways, thank you for being on my team, guys. Please visit TradersWay.com, open a demo, join our family. But like I said, I'm waiting for approval from the big TW people to do like a multi-day, let's say 3-4 hour workshop that I do, let's say an hour a day for several days in a row. And I'll break down step by step day trading strategy. But for that, there should be a live account. Okay. So that means if we do that in the second week of June or the third week of June, then you have about 4 weeks to open up the account and fund it with money. Okay. And that often takes time. It doesn't take 5 minutes. It could take some time depending on where in the world you are, right? So if you want that, get her going, get her done. Okay? Okay? All we're asking for is you join the team, right? So I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Wouldn't it be nice if it just dropped enough pips? Come on. Nah, it's going to fight me, huh? It's going to fight me. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being on my team. I appreciate the work you do every day.